So you kind of represent the business. But for companies like, let's say, who provide services, or you are an offshore services team, at that time, do you get a chance to see any of those legal agreements? Have you? How does that work?
Kumaran, can I add to this point?
Yeah.
See, I had a last year I was working on a evaluation drive for a product for one of the projects in the Europe region. The thing is that from our side, we were evaluating 4 different products for that project from an integration perspective alone, not from in the MVC architecture. Only we are working on the integration product. We know particular product is not capable enough to handle the volume, and they are not giving a what do you call concrete agreement for a open source sort of things, right?
Okay. Okay.
We know it's like it is an open source. People can still do a what do you call the security related stuff, right? So that can happen. So we had seen couple of projects running by the same organization, like running from my company for a different customer. It got failed.
Okay.
We were saying it to the customers that this may not be the right option for you, but the cost is little high. You can choose any of the other 2 components. We were evaluating 4 components. We straight away removed one of the product, and other product customer was aligned to it because of they have a agreement between the vendor and the company, right? The customer. But we were suggesting, no, we had the practical example that this product is not capable for that volume, and we had a failed projects in our experience. So we don't want to go for that. The other 2 products you choose it. But because of the agreement happened with that vendor, they were not able to go for the other products.
Okay.
End of the day, what happened is our legal team was very strong and saying that since we know it is not going to be a success, we don't want to spoil our name. Let's not take this project. Unless otherwise the legal team come and verify that agreement, everything, we would have taken that project. We would have failed that project. We would have spoiled our name in the papers that our organization didn't successfully implement this project. Nobody knows in the outside world that the customer has an agreement with that particular vendor. So that is the reason Cognizant has taken that project. Nobody knows it. But at the end of the day, Cognizant will be in that will get a bad name that this team didn't successfully implemented it. So
Okay.
this is another example which we.
So that's interesting. So your customers had a legal agreement with the vendor.
Yep.
So they were kind of bounded to implement it.
Exactly.
And your legal team advised, if you think that this legal cause is going to fail the project, don't go ahead with it.
Yeah.
So actually it was a legal decision not to go ahead. I mean, like the legal, let's say the legal pillar helped you not to go ahead with the decision. Right?
Yes.
Interesting. So basically, I guess I was looking at some other perspective, but this is also another interesting perspective. So architecture, right, is not about just engineering alone. So the success or a failure of a solution also has a legal aspect to it. So for example, if in this case, taking help from a legal and tying up the technology limitation and understanding the legal perspective, presenting that story together is very important for a go or a no-go decision. So interestingly, just to get the overall theme of what we are, right, who can actually play this role, right?
I think one thing which you just started with, which was the facial recognition thing. So besides legal and everything, there is a moral and ethical angle to it, right? So why did these companies decide to stop this facial recognition to police, right? because there is a moral and ethical angle. I would not say ethical, this is more moral, because those companies believe that by doing this they are making a point against racism, right? So this is a moral stand which they have taken. Now there may be legal implications because of that moral stand now, right?
Yeah.
So this actually, I don't know whether it qualifies as an architectural uh, point, but because this is a moral stand taken by an organization which is not necessarily driven by architecture,
No,
right?
what I was trying to
Yeah.
say is the motivation for an event happening could be many,
Yes.
but handling that event is an architectural responsibility.
Yes. Once they have made that moral decision, now it has to be
So
handled.
it for example, it could be another thing, right? Like let's say I have built my entire business based on PUBG. Okay, and then we decide Chinese apps will not be allowed entry inside India.
Right.
All ISPs has to conform to that, right? Now let's say I was running a gaming parlor, okay, which had special sets, virtual headsets, and you could actually play PUBG. Now obviously I'm going to get killed
Absolutely.
because it's out of 10 cents. So in that case, it's a legal thing that can hit us, right? So
Yeah.
as an
It's a
art,
policy. Basically, government policy is one. If you go to buy the if you go to the PMI and PMP, all those kinds of things, government policy actually is a big player in how the success of the projects, right?
correct.
And for especially for infrastructure and large projects, that becomes a very important pillar.
So
Yeah,
basically I
Kumaran,
was,
I think, yeah, I agree with that point, because even the GDPR also is a government things which every company has to align to that, right?
correct.
Otherwise, they will get penalized for that.
They get penalized for it. So what I was actually curious, right, from what Karthik was also telling, that you have a chance to look at it. But there's an interesting problem, which is, uh, so let's say we are doing a new project, right? And we just did a POC, got an idea about what the technology is and things like that. Okay. Now I've actually gone and signed ahead an agreement with the vendor. Okay. And in lot of cases, if it's a small to medium sized company, you just sign it with some standard clauses, which will be a typical thing, like what they were telling, right? Can you run your business for 5 years and things like that? Okay. And then let's assume that there are a lot of legalities which is covered. Okay. Now we have to reach a case where they have to give us, I don't know what is called minimum service period. I don't know the terminology, so I'm just using that. Is there anything in the ITIL world?
It's like the warranty. It's like a warranty, right? So how long?
Is there any specific term that is there in the ITIL? Like
Warranty is actually the term. Warranty is actually the term.
warranty is the term. Okay.
Yeah. So
What's
you have the warranty for the service?
You have the warranty for the service. Okay. So if they have to give a warranty, right? But is that the difference between a guarantee and a warranty? Because like after I have bought the product, how long will I get covered? Here it is like, as I am in contract itself, I don't want you to go offline. So
you see, so guarantee and warranty are sort of related, but warranty includes the performance of it, right?
okay.
That warranty will include support and all those kinds of things. So warranty actually includes support.
Okay.
Guarantee is sort of, if it doesn't work, I'll replace it kind of a thing, right? So this is especially true in terms of cars, right? For example, or in terms of, let's say, Microsoft, how they give any software, they say once we release a technology, we will support it for 10 years, right? That is a sort of a warranty, right? You may have to pay for it, but that's still a warranty.
Okay.
Right. So and that is one of the sort of their selling points, right? That we will there is backward compatibility going to 30 years. If you have a DOS program which was written 30 years ago, it is very likely it will work on a Windows 10 system today, right? In some way, right? You can make it work, right? It is not really good to just die, right? So that also brings, so people may complain Windows is this, Windows is that, unstable, all those things, but what sells is that warranty which comes with it. It is backward compatible, all these things will run, and they no program left behind kind of approach which they have, right? So that is a kind of warranty which builds the reputation for the company, right? So also comes with it what is the kind of support you get, right? You call, if you have an American Express card or some of the premium cards, you call them, they talk to you as if they are your friend and neighbor and they will help you with anything, right? They have built that reputation of providing you help, right? So you are willing to pay for that service and you sort of buy loyalty for that. So all these things combine to decide whether you will be a preferred vendor for that party or not, or you may have a shitty product, but if you have great support and you are on there and helping them, whatever you need to do, people will still include that as part of the architecture. Says we may have a problem, but they're there always, right? So they may come back to you even when you have a somewhat dodgy situation. But I value support more than I value the cutting edge features, right? So that is a, again, architectural decision.
The